Ah, hello everyone. Yeah, hi. How's it going? Sorry, couldn't really communicate with this thing on. It does wonders when you're in the water. Not a lot of wonders when you're on dry land or in a house like I am right now. But that's the thing, right? I'm going to tell you a little story about my first experience diving. Ever since I was a kid, I had loved water. I loved swimming, loved playing in the water, loved being around water. I still do to a large extent. I don't do it as much as I'd like to, but you know, life. So, my biggest issue was that I was afraid of the ocean. And I made a pact with myself many years ago to start to face my fears. And the only way I could face my fears was actually facing them and addressing them and getting into it, engaging with my fears, as opposed to running away or avoiding them. And one of those fears, of course, being the ocean, I decided on one of my vacations to go diving. And I made a decision not just to go diving, but to get certified as a diver. And so I did. I went through all the classes, all the courses, all the training, all of the things to equip myself because I really, really wanted to feel confident and comfortable. I wanted the knowledge to be able to feel safe and know that it improved my chances of getting into the water, but also coming out again. And so on the first dive in the ocean, there we go into the water. And we wade out from the shallow part of the ocean at the beach into the deeper part, right where the reef drops off into the depth of the ocean. And we start to go down, and there's this thing you're supposed to do as you go down called equalization, because pressure starts to build up in your ears, and something you're supposed to do to equalize the pressure in your ears as you go down. And we're just a few meters down, and I'm freaking out, like my heart is beating out of my chest. I am scared. And there's a group of about 6 of us, I think. In that group, there was a 12-year-old boy with his dad. So, you know, it's supposed to be safe, right? But here I was, big black dude, scared out of my mind. And all of a sudden, one of our group members panics. And she could not equalize. She had a lot of pain in her ears, and she just panicked and started to swim up towards the surface. And the instructor turned to us and said, "Look, everybody up, come on, let's go." And so we came up, and I was like, whew, thank God we get out the water, because I was scared. I mean, I was terrified. And this lady did something unimaginable. She said, "Look, I can't keep going. I can't do this. My ears won't clear. I'm not doing this. I'm going to go back to shore." And her boyfriend said to her, "Okay, I'll take you back. I don't want to ruin it for everyone else. You guys go on. I'll take her back to shore." And she goes, "No. You've been wanting to do this for a long time. You go. I'll go back on my own." And I remember looking at this woman, and I remember thinking to myself, she just faced something that was really traumatizing. And I mean, just the process of diving for the first time and getting into the ocean for the first time is traumatic, it's scary, but she was willing to face her trauma going back all the way to the shore. And I thought to myself, if this lady could do that by herself, I'm with a group of people, I've got an instructor, it's safe, we've got all the training and all the lessons, I can do this. And I did. We went down to about 20 meters down, and went down a little further. Some of us did. It's about 30 meters. And it was absolutely amazing. I mean, it was an absolutely blissful experience. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life. So I continued doing it. And every chance I get to dive, I do. I go on dives. And just the calm and the peace in that ocean at that time. And a couple of things stood out to me, and those are the lessons I'd like to share with you. One thing was, you know, getting through my fear. I think it's Will Smith who's been saying that, you know, the best things in life are on the other side of your fear. And I think he's right. But I think a lot of us, myself inclusive for many years, try to get through life avoiding fear. If something scares us, we go around it. We go to avoid it, we take another road, we take another route, whatever it is, another path. Maybe we don't do what it is that we know we should do, not doing what we want to do, what we desire to do, because we're afraid. And I realized in that moment that I needed to go through my fear. I needed to face it, I needed to go through it. Going through it is to destroy it. Going through it is to humanize it. Going through it is to make it less big and less dominant and less scary. And that's exactly what I did. I went through my fear and experienced an entirely new world, entirely new way to live, entirely new hobby, an entirely new system. Everything was just so brand new and so peaceful and so calm. And the second thing that I learned was this. It has to do with this thing, So I went snorkeling as well on my trips, and I tried to do that a lot. Went swimming with dolphins and things like that. And the first time I went, they gave us this full face snorkel, and I'd never used it before, and it was very uncomfortable, and it hadn't settled in yet, but I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can use it. I'll get in there. I can swim really well. I'll get in and I'll go as deep as I can to try and spot the dolphins. And my brothers and sisters, that's how I almost drowned. Yes, so I get in the water and my mask wasn't on properly. I wasn't used to the equipment. I just, go in, come on, dive deep, let's go. And within seconds, water was seeping in through all the seals, and I was swallowing all the water that I could swallow, and it was horrible. I started scrambling, tried to come up to the surface, got up to the surface, took the mask off, and just, gasped for air, spat out as much water as I could, got on the boat as quickly as I could, and tried to play it off like there was nothing wrong. And the lesson in that story for me was that if you're not equipped, don't do it. If you haven't tried to equip yourself, if you're not familiar with the tools of the trade, if you're not familiar with the equipment, don't do it. A lot of people are losing money today in the stock market and trading because they're jumping on the next bandwagon. Oh, everybody's into Bitcoin. Ooh, everybody's into FX trading. Ooh, everybody's trading commodities. Everybody's jumping into the ocean to swim with the dolphins, but they have equipment that they're comfortable with. They're learning, they're equipping themselves, they're educating themselves. If you haven't done that, you're just going to end up swallowing water, and instead of swimming with the dolphins, you might sleep with the fishes. Mafia reference there. Anyway, that's my story for today. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you've got something out of it. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and as always, be inspired.